women are increasingly becoming major drivers and facilitators of mega corruption. At EACC, when we are dealing with big scandals, at the center is a woman. It's a very worrying trend. I forgot to acknowledge my bishop. I may not have Holy Communion this Sunday. Thank you, Bishop, for praying for us and for being here with us. Women are at the center. If you think of NYS, when the trial was going on, you saw how many women were involved in that saga. The Kemsa saga that we are all familiar with, Kemsa 1, Kemsa 2. Women were right at the center. The edible oil scandal a few years ago, women at the very center. And the list goes on. This is a very worrying trend where women are becoming drivers and facilitators of mega corruption. At the lower levels, they are the victims. At the higher levels, unfortunately, they are at the driver's seats. Women are also highly complicit in family-based corruption, whether by spouses, by parents, by close relatives. We find, you have seen this in public domain, there are many of the corruption cases that we deal with where husband and wife collude, where parents and their children collude. And this is another trend that is coming up, which did not come out in the survey, but which is a reality that we need to confront. What you will notice about the survey that we have done, and which happens even with the TI surveys, the other surveys that we do, the biggest concern of society and what comes through these surveys is usually the micro corruption. The small 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings, and so on. The mega scandals rarely surface on these kind of surveys. As you notice, the highest was by the magistrates at 100 and when we sit down in our commission enforcement committees, 107,000 shillings is a waste of our time, because we are dealing with people who have stolen billions of shillings. It rarely comes out in these surveys because Kenyans interact with the small corruption, what we call the small fish corruption. And we need to look into ways, means to confront mega corruption where, as I've said, both genders are actively involved. And so Sheila said, why don't we then just employ